अस्सलाम वालेकुम बच्चों, रब्बिशरहली सदरी। शुरू करते हैं हम लोग आज अपनी पढ़ाई बायोमॉलिक्यूल्स। नाउ your exams are cancelled, so you just have to focus on your NEET exam, and biomolecule is one of the most important chapters of NEET. I want to make it easy for you, so let's study biomolecules. Now where do you find biomolecules? In all the living organisms, whether that is a plant or animal or yourself or bacteria, everywhere you will find biomolecules. What is actually biomolecules according to NCERT? It's all the carbon compounds which are there in the living organism, they are biomolecules. Now carbon dioxide is also there in us, but that's not biomolecules, that's a gas, that's an inorganic molecule. That's not an organic molecule, so you make an exception of carbon dioxide. Otherwise, all carbon compounds. Carbon is the hero of biomolecules. They are capable of making polymers, number of compounds which are present in Earth. That is biomolecule. Now, how do we classify biomolecules? There's an experiment which is given in NCERT that will make you understand what is biomolecule and what is big macro and what is small micro. Biomolecules. Now you take any piece of living organism, that is plant or animal or some muscles, maybe your muscles, but let us not take that. Let us take the chicken muscle. You take out the muscle. You take out the muscle from the chicken and you grind it in mortar and pestle. Now you take out a muscle piece from leg piece, take leg piece, remove the muscle and put it in this. Maybe you should be putting in conical flask, but just to make you understand, we have taken a big piece in this vessel. Now you grind it with mortar and pestle. मोटार में डाल दिया हमने और पिस्टल से चटनी बनाना उसको. Just grind it, make it chutney of it. Now after making it chutney, you add a chemical which is TCA. Now normally this is used in laboratory on muscles. If you do any experiment, you have to use TCA to make the muscles into smaller pieces. You have to make it smaller by this TCA, and if it falls on your muscles, it will dissolve your muscle also. So now you're dissolving this muscle which is present here. So now you add TCA. What is this TCA? It's an organic acid, trichloroacetic acid. Now you know the formula of acetic acid, CH3COOH. Now what you have to do is just remove this and add chlorine, CCl3. So now this becomes trichloroacetic acid. This is the formula of acid which dissolves the muscle. So now you have added trichloroacetic acid to it. It has dissolved. It has separated all the ingredients which are present in it. So now after this, you just filter it. You just filter it in a conical flask. You filter it. You put the filter paper over it and filter this which you have made the solution of, or I just take a bigger this thing for you to understand. Take a big chalna. And you get this. Or you take the big vessel for you to understand better. Now you are going to filter this solution. Something is going to fall down and something which will be retained here. Now whatever is filtered is filtrate. Whatever is filtered is filtrate. Now whatever remains here is retentate. Retentate. It is retained in the sieve. It is retained on the upper side. Whatever is filtered, filtrate comes down. Now this, what does this retentate contains? If you do chemical analysis, you will find that certain things are retained upward and something which comes down. Now the one which is retained is, they are known as macromolecule. Macro means big and micro means small. Something which can be filtered is micromolecule. Something which is retained, retentate, is macromolecule. They are bigger molecules. They are polymers. Now, if you have understood this, how we have got this, you will understand the differentiation, the classification of biomolecules. So this much you have understood. We have taken muscle, chicken muscle. We have made chutney of it. We have grinded with mortar and pestle, giving pressure. Added TCA, trichloroacetic acid, which has dissolved the muscles, whatever the molecules were present in it. Now we have taken it for filtering. We have filtered it. So whatever is retained upward is retentate, and whatever is filtered is filtrate. By analyzing what is there in the retentate, we find that they are all macromolecules. The ones which are bigger, they cannot be dissolved, they cannot come down, they have been retained upward in this sieve. The one which is dissolved, they are smaller in size, they are micromolecules, they have come down. So now we are going to analyze what are macromolecules and what are micromolecules. We are going to differentiate. Now naturally, muscle consists of carbohydrate. So the carbohydrate which are bigger one are there up. Protein, amino acids which are simpler form will come down. Amino acids down, protein up. In carbohydrate, the one which are smaller, monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, they will remain upward. They will come down. And polysaccharides, which are greater than 1000 Dalton, will be up. The smaller, lesser than 1000 Dalton will be down. So this is how we classify the retentate. They consist of macromolecules and this is micromolecules. Now amino acid, which are the simplest form of protein, will bond with many amino acids. We have 20 amino acids. Number of amino acids will combine to form number of proteins. So here the simplest form will be micro. The one which you get down is amino acid. But the one which is retained upward is a polymer which is combined into many amino acids. They become polymer. They are bigger chain which cannot be filtered. They have been retained upward. They are bigger in size, therefore they are macromolecules. The one which is simplest form, amino acids, will be down. Now we talk about protein. They are present in the macromolecules. Amino acids, they are present in the micromolecules which have been filtered. Then next is carbohydrate. Now again, when we talk about carbohydrate, carbohydrate is complex. The simplest form of carbohydrate is glucose. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate, that is monosaccharide. Then there are oligosaccharide. Fructose is an oligosaccharide. Then there is polysaccharide. When this glucose, they combine together, these molecules, when they combine to form glycogen, which is stored in the liver, they become complex. And they become polysaccharide. Here you will have complex polysaccharide, which is glycogen, that is upward. So the simpler ones will be down, and up that will be complex ones. So let us go ahead of it, and let me tell you about little classification of carbohydrate, which we'll be doing in detail, but right now we will just go into smaller classification for you to remember. Now carbohydrate. Carbohydrate, that is the one which is complex, is polysaccharide. Many molecules will combine together. Here monosaccharide. Oligosaccharide. So here you find glucose. Here you find glycogen. Glycogen is complex and it is stored in the liver. Now isomer of glucose, that is fructose, you will find here. Fructose, galactose. Now in this complex, glycogen and inulin. Inulin is the starch which is stored in the tubers, roots, even in banana, chicory roots. It is stored, and they are complex fibers which are form of the carbohydrate. It gives us energy. It keeps our digestive system healthy by pushing out the waste. So it is soft white color carbohydrate which you see, that is inulin. Now here in oligosaccharide, you find sucrose, and then the acid which you find, the sugar which you find in milk, that is lactose. So this is the example of oligosaccharide, sucrose and lactose. So this is a small classification of carbohydrate for you to understand right now, but it has to be further done for further, because there's not many things to be explained in it. So here carbohydrate. Now we go for amino acids. amino acids. Now, amino acid is the basic unit of protein. So some amino acids you have to study to understand how they form complex. This is the biomolecule. This is the biomolecule which is present in all the organisms. Without this, the life cannot continue. So amino acid has to be present to carry out various biological activities. So few amino acids will be understanding and how they combine to form protein, how they form peptide bonds, how they form long chains, how one amino acid can lead to formation of different types of protein. You will be understanding from this by understanding the basic unit of protein, that is amino acid. So how do we structure, how do we understand the structure of amino acids? Now, the simplest structure which you know is about methane, right? Now, this methane is the simplest carbon compound, which is like you have carbon, alpha carbon at the center, and you have hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Now, in case of protein, what you have to do is you have to add NH2. And here on the other side, on the other terminal, you have to form COOH. And here is hydrogen, and here you can form any group. You can form any, you can vary by changing this group here. Rest of the thing will remain same in all the amino acids. Rest of the thing. So now it will be easy for you to form different types of protein from this one block, which is same for all the amino acids. It's not going to change. Only this R is going to change whether you form COOH or whatever you want to add, it is going to be here. This amino acid is going to change. So now let us start with some amino acids. So you have to remember this and just change the R. So here you start to have some basic amino acids, that is you have to form. Let us take 3 simple ones: glycine, then alanine, and some other simple ones also we'll see. So this thing remains the same. Now here it is NH2, H, COOH. Now here you find CH3, H, NH2, COOH. This is going to remain same for every amino acids. You will be changing only this. Now the simplest one, which is the glycine. The simplest one is the glycine. Let us start with the glycine. Now here it is NH2COOH. So simplest one is going to be glycine with H. Now alanine. and serine. Here alanine you add CH2. Sorry, CH3 you add. And for serine you add CH3, CH2OH. Now these are the simplest protein. Once you know this structure is common, it is easy for you to remember the rest of the protein. It's only you have to change this side, that is R, and you can form various protein. Now, how do we form the bond between these two proteins? It's very simple. You just have to remove the water, dehydration. To form peptide bond, you just have to dehydrate this. That is, you have to remove this. Now, any protein will have two terminals, that is N-terminal and C-terminal. Will have N-terminal and C-terminal. So, here the bonding takes place by removing the water. So, you remove this H2O. From here, you remove H2O. H2, dehydration. Dehydration takes place, you remove H2O. Once you remove this H2O, here there is going to form a peptide bond. Once you have removed this, there will be peptide. You have removed water from this. So now you will have one oxygen, and this bond is formed with this NH. This OH is removed and it forms the bond like this. Water is removed. Dehydration has taken place. Water is removed. But now what has happened is a bond is formed which is known as peptide bond. Same way, if it has to form a bond with this serine, it has to remove the water. Water is removed. Dehydration has taken place, and that has led to the formation of peptide bond. This is how peptide bonds are formed, and more proteins, long chain goes on forming. Now here there is a charge which is delta. This is the N, wherever it is N, this is known as N-terminal. And whenever it is C, it is known as C-terminal. Now this C-terminal here is over. Now this C-terminal will remain here. C-terminal. So here the charges are present in this terminal so that it goes on forming new and new bond. This is C-terminal.